It's raining outside, which means the lighting isn't gonna be great, and I almost didn't film this video today just because of that, and I feel like that is the perfect intro into this video. So I'm kind of a perfectionist. I have been like my entire life. I grew up with the whole gifted and talented label, which just meant like things were a lot easier for me to understand. So like I learned how to read very well, very quickly. Like I remember doing like the reading tests in elementary school, and I'd be in like first grade and they're like, you're reading at like a college level. Whatever that means, I guess. And like in math, I understand concepts really easily. And if I didn't like a certain way we like solved equations, I would make my own version only because I understood the original and didn't really like it. So I'd make a new one and it would work just fine. The whole gifted thing made the academic side of my life really, really easy for me. But what a lot of people don't really know is that when your brain works like that, when it's very academic centered and you're really good at those things, most of the time you're emotionally lacking. I was so academically well off that I was just completely lacking emotionally and was just not developed in that center of my life. So my test scores, I keep like doing this to show the difference, I don't know. I would get all my assignments done super quickly, super easily, my test scores were through the roof, but the second I didn't understand something, I would lose it. If I even had the tiniest bit of difficulty with the task, like if learning a new skill took me more than like 10 minutes, I would be in pieces because I grew up understanding things so easily and I was able to get everything so quickly that something taking me a normal amount of time was just unfathomable. I never learned how to cope with these difficulties and with these hardships because I never had to. And that's honestly something I'm still working on. I'm also a very passionate person. I've always had such a drive for English and for writing, and my test scores prove that. Like, I did incredible, and I still do pretty well in those classes. Just like the academics though, when it comes to my passions, if I don't understand something, or if something just isn't working out the way I want it to, I give up and I burn out so quickly. That's something I experience kind of in a cycle when it comes to making videos, is I'll get on this creative high and I'll be like writing things for videos and filming them and editing them, producing them, and having so much fun and just being on a crazy streak of doing that. And then I'll hit like a tiny little roadblock or have a minor inconvenience and shut down. That's kind of what's been happening recently. I was making a bunch of videos and I was having so much fun with them, and then I had these two really big creative projects come up, and that just meant I had less time to make videos. I still wanted to make these videos though because I was still on that like creative high, so I kept going, but then I was looking back at the videos when I was done, I realized that the quality was kind of dwindling. Especially the past couple videos I've made, I'm not too proud of because they're not perfect, or they're not up to my standards of perfect. Sometimes when I'm making videos, if I like go back and watch what I've edited so far and it doesn't look how I want it to, I kind of give up prematurely. I still finish the video, but it's just, I'm not gonna work as hard on it as I want it to. It's a really bad habit of mine that I am constantly working on, and it's really not fair to the people who watch my videos. I feel like one of my biggest passions, if not my single biggest passion in life, is creating videos and is entertaining people and making people laugh, and the fact that I'm not fulfilling that passion as much as I want to and as much as I know that I can is really sad. Right now, I'm trying to realize that not everything I make has to be perfect. If you look back at my first couple videos, I originally started posting just to like document my life. I have this really deep fear of forgetting, and I feel like I could make a whole video on that, and I probably will. So I have dozens of journals, I have a whole bunch of active scrapbooks, I write everything down, I film everything just because I can't forget. And that's what this channel started out as. It was kind of like a digital scrapbook in a way. I only made it to document my life, and my life, just like everybody else's life, is not perfect. Although I've moved on to kind of more structured content, I still need to realize that that original idea is still true. Not every video needs to be perfect. This video isn't perfect. I'm sitting here and I'm actively admitting that I do not have all the skills that I wish I had. You know, I'm being vulnerable, and that's what I want for my videos. I mean, no hate to anyone by what I'm about to say, because I'm guilty of it too. I feel like a lot of creators try to only put out stuff that makes their lives seem perfect, myself included. And that makes a lot of viewers, myself included, feel like their lives aren't perfect or they aren't good enough just because they don't look ideal. Another reason why I wanted to start making videos was to prove exactly that. My life isn't perfect. Your life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. But that's what makes it fun, okay? I think a life where everybody was immediately successful and nobody had to work through anything would be so boring. And I know that that sounds very privileged of me, honestly. I've gone through a lot. I haven't gone through the same things other people have, so I can't speak on their hardships. I can only speak on my own. And as much as I wish I could go back and prevent certain things from happening, I still think the strength and the resilience that came after that is so much more beautiful than just having a perfect life would have been. I mean, if you could automatically achieve all of your goals without the hard work and without the process, where's the fun in that? Around halfway through like planning this video and making like little bullet points to go off of, I actually had an appointment with my therapist and we talked about this exact situation. Throughout the whole conversation, I just kept repeating like, well, I'm a perfectionist, so this, or I'm a perfectionist, so I do this thing. I'm leaving that in because this video is not perfect. And after saying that about a dozen times, she cut me off and she was like, you're not a perfectionist. You simply learned at a young age that making mistakes was not okay. She also brought up how perfectionism is a learned ability and that it's not who I am. I have perfectionistic tendencies, but it's not who I am. It's not my whole life. It's not my whole personality. I started rereading this book that I took from my mom. I'm pretty sure she originally bought it to like understand me a little bit more, and then I took it. So sorry mom, if you've been looking for this, it's been in my room. But there's this one little section that I think really stands out to me in this specific situation. Although the outward picture of depression is quite the opposite of that of grandiosity and has a quality that expresses tragedy of the loss of self in a more obvious way, they have many points in common. And one of the points that was mentioned, I don't know if you could see that, is perfectionism. And I read that and I was like, that makes no sense. But then I was really thinking about it and I was like, oh, that makes all the sense in the world. I suffer from depression. I have essentially my whole life. And I found that the habit of perfectionism is just always there no matter how I'm feeling. I could be at an all-time high in my life. I could be so happy and I feel the need to do things perfectly because, you know, I'm like mentally the best I could be, so I have no excuse to not do things perfectly. But then the complete opposite, when I'm at the lowest I can be, I feel like I can't do anything. I feel like I can't put anything of worth out there. So the things that I do somehow manage to put together and put out there, they need to be perfect to prove that I can do something. They need to be perfect to prove that I'm not like useless. Something else my therapist brought up was that perfectionism stems from a good place. Just like all negative emotions, which I don't think there are like bad emotions and good emotions. I think some make you feel sad, but they're still necessary. Anyways, perfectionism stems from a very good place. It's something that makes you work hard and it's something that makes you want to put out something that's the best of your ability. It sometimes goes a little bit overboard though, and you can go from putting out this great work, something absolutely incredible, to putting out nothing at all in fear of embarrassment. I feel like a lot of my insecurities I found stem from a fear of embarrassment. There's so many things in my life where I look back and I'm like, oh, I should have done this, but I was so scared I was gonna embarrass myself. And that's something I felt a lot in my like earlier teenage years, especially like middle school, early high school. But something I've learned now that I'm like way past that point in my life is that once you get over that initial fear of embarrassing yourself, life is way more fun. Like just being alive is so much better when you look past the embarrassment and you do things that make you happy. Like making videos. I didn't actually put them out for such a long time because I was like, oh, people are gonna judge me, people are gonna embarrass me, these aren't gonna look perfect, this is so awful, so I just didn't put videos out. And now that I've started doing it, I don't care. I make these for me, and if other people watch them, that's so sick. That's so cool. And contrary to my earlier beliefs, nobody's made fun of me for making videos. Maybe they've made fun of me behind my back. That's none of my business. I don't care as long as I don't see it. But nobody's made fun of me to my face. So I'll take it. It's a win. I don't really know how to end this video. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Thank you for watching me ramble. And if you're feeling similar things, you're not alone. That's the whole reason I made this channel. To prove that no matter what you're feeling, there is gonna be someone out there who's feeling the exact same thing. Even though I, you know, have tried to avoid showing that, I guess, I feel the need to be perfect all the time. And that's just not how life should be. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. My dog just started barking. And I almost didn't film that video. Whoa. Whoa. But there's, whoa. My gosh.